Someone is trying to lock you in a room of your house. My child, the sound outside your door grows heavier, footsteps pressing against the silence. You feel it deep inside your spirit, something is not right. The air thickens as though the walls themselves are preparing to close around you. The lock rattles faintly, and your heart races. Someone's hand lingers on the doorknob, turning it slowly, carefully, as if they want you trapped. Fear rises like a shadow ready to consume the light of your freedom. This moment is not ordinary. It is a warning that danger is closer than you realize. Someone's intention is dark, their plan built in silence, and you were never meant to discover it. But now you do. You sense the trap being prepared. You are seconds away from being shut inside, cut off, and left in fear by someone who wishes you harm. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You lean closer to the door, holding your breath. Their fingers tremble against the handle, and yet their resolve grows stronger. They want to seal you away, to silence your voice, to stop your path forward. The walls of your own home, the place that should protect you, suddenly feel like a prison. Someone you thought you could trust has changed their role. Instead of safety, they carry betrayal. The room around you grows colder, as though unseen forces whisper the truth in your ear. You were never supposed to notice, but destiny has opened your eyes to the deceit. The sound of metal clicks in the lock. It is almost done. Once it closes, your cries will not reach anyone, and your freedom will be lost. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You remember Archangel Michael says, "Not all battles are fought with swords. Some are fought with awareness, with knowing the truth before it's too late." The spirit of protection surrounds you, even as darkness tries to shut you inside. You feel a fire in your chest, a strength that refuses to bow. Fear will not claim you tonight. What was meant to trap you will be exposed. The footsteps shuffle, impatient. The hand pressing the lock hesitates, as though sensing your strength. They know you are aware, and that knowledge terrifies them. You take a deep breath, preparing yourself for what's coming. Because no one, no matter how silent their plot, can bind your destiny forever. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The air outside the door grows restless. Someone whispers, low and bitter, as if cursing your resistance. Their voice carries hate and envy, and it bleeds into your spirit. But your faith is stronger. The unseen presence of light begins to weave around you, creating a shield that no lock, no trap, and no enemy can hold down. The doorknob twists again, harder this time. But a force greater than there will begins to push back. The unseen hand of heaven is already working in your favor. And then you realize, it is not just about locking you inside a room. It is about silencing your journey, ending your blessings, and keeping you from walking into the breakthrough that was promised for you. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The lock outside your room shakes violently now, a forceful hand determined to trap you inside. Their desperation is louder than the silence you once felt. They want you contained, hidden, and powerless. Your heart pounds as though time itself is rushing against you. Shadows move on the walls, and the entire house feels unsettled. This is no ordinary night, this is the night their hidden plan reveals itself. The air grows heavier, pressing against your chest. You know this moment is more than fear, it is a test of your strength. If you surrender now, everything ahead of you will be stolen in an instant. But destiny will not allow that. Even as the enemy's hand tries to twist the lock, a greater hand holds them back. You are not alone in this moment of danger. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You hear the whisper of footsteps moving closer, then stopping. It's as though they are waiting for you to weaken, waiting for you to panic. But instead, a fire awakens in your spirit. The room begins to glow faintly with a presence unseen. A warmth brushes your shoulders, reminding you that light is stronger than fear. You realize that no enemy can defeat what is written for you. The doorknob rattles harder now, echoing through your bones. But with each attempt they make, the power of heaven pushes back. They thought tonight would be the night they shut you away, but tonight is the night their plan collapses. Archangel Michael says, the truth always reveals itself in the moment of greatest darkness. And in this darkness, your light is rising. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Their breathing grows ragged outside the door. They whisper words of frustration, anger spilling through their lips. They never imagined you would resist, that you would sense their plan before it was complete. The energy shifts around you, the trap beginning to lose its hold. The hand gripping the lock weakens as unseen forces strip them of control. It is no longer their choice to decide your fate. The walls around you, once cold and heavy, begin to lighten. The fear that choked you begins to dissolve. Freedom is being written in the silence of the night. You are not the prisoner they thought you would be. You are the chosen one, shielded by power they cannot touch. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The sound of the lock stops abruptly. Their footsteps retreat, quick and uncertain. They have realized something far greater than their plan has stepped in. Your spirit lifts as strength floods your body. What was meant to harm you has turned into a warning for your victory. The danger that tried to shut you away now exposes itself. You see it clearly for what it is, a desperate act of envy, a plot born out of fear of your rising destiny. The night that began with terror now burns with revelation. You survived the attempt to be trapped, and now the truth can no longer be hidden. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The silence outside your room deepens, but it is not peace, it is a pause before the next move. You know they haven't given up, only stepped back to rethink. The trap is still alive, waiting for another attempt to shut you in. Your body is tense, your ears sharpened to every sound in the house. A floorboard creaks in the distance, and you realize their presence still lingers. They are circling, looking for the perfect moment to strike again. The shadows press against your window, crawling like restless spirits. You feel the heaviness of their intent pushing toward you. They are not here for love or protection, they are here for control. And yet, within your heart, the fire grows stronger. Fear may surround you, but faith has already claimed your spirit. You will not be trapped by their wicked plans. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The house itself feels alive with tension. Every corner holds echoes of their whispers, every wall remembers the pressure of their plotting hands. What was meant to be a home has become a battlefield. You move quietly, refusing to give them the satisfaction of hearing your fear. Their steps draw nearer again, heavier this time, as though anger has replaced hesitation. They will try once more. The doorknob shakes violently, the lock screaming under the force. But as it does, a stronger energy surges through you, an invisible shield that rises higher with every breath. Archangel Michael says, protection has already been written over you. No plan to cage you will succeed while your spirit stands guarded by the light. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The footstep stops suddenly, and silence floods the air once more. You know they are outside, listening, calculating, preparing to twist their way back into control. But you have already awakened to their intentions. You feel the air shift, like a storm breaking over the house. A clash of unseen forces battles for your future, light and dark colliding in silence. The outcome is certain, but they are too blind to see it. The shadows on your wall begin to retreat as though burned by an invisible flame. Your body relaxes, even as the tension rises around you. You are not the victim, you are the survivor. The person outside your door realizes their power is slipping. Their plan has cracked, their confidence shattered by the force surrounding you. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The lock remains untouched now, their hand withdrawn. They whisper curses under their breath, retreating into the shadows. But what they left behind is more powerful than their attack, the truth of who they are. Your heart beats with both fear and revelation. You finally see clearly who has been plotting against you. The mask has fallen, and the enemy has exposed themselves in their attempt to cage your soul. The house trembles with silence again, but it no longer feels threatening. It feels like a victory waiting to be claimed. Their shadow is gone, but your light remains unshaken. The night becomes a turning point. No longer will you live unaware of who is against you. No longer will you trust blindly. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The night does not end with their retreat. It bends and curls around the edges of your door like smoke that refuses to thin. Their intention lingers, a cold imprint pressed into the wood and the air. You stand still and listen to the house breathe. The walls hum like a low current of memory, carrying every whisper and every step that crossed them. The floor remembers the weight of betrayal. You move your hand over the doorknob without touching it. A heat rises inside your chest that does not belong to fear. It belongs to a promise that will not be broken. The window glass shivers softly as if a hand brushed it from outside. The curtains sway without wind, tugged by a presence that wants attention. You feel light gathering in the corners of the room. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. You take one step to the left, eyes tracing the outline of the dresser. Your breath steadies as if you were stepping into a sanctuary. The air softens around your shoulders like a protective cloak settling into place. A distant hinge complains somewhere down the hall. The sound travels with a slow echo, stretched by the late hour and the quiet. You feel your spine straighten as resolve tightens like armor. You picture their hands, the same hands that tried to lock you away. You refuse to let their touch mark your future. You refuse to let their fear write your story. The room listens to you claim this decision. The ceiling, the door, and the window receive your choice like a seal. You can feel the balance in the house tilt toward you. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. They return after a long stretch of silence. Their steps are softer, the practiced stealth of someone who believes they still control the board. But the board is no longer theirs. You sense them pause at the threshold outside. The thin line between in and out becomes a battlefield they cannot cross. Something stands there that their eyes cannot see. You look at the crack beneath the door and see a faint glow. It is not candlelight and not streetlight. It is the quiet color of safety. The handle wiggles once as a test. It stops, then releases, like a decision reconsidered under pressure. The air sighs in your favor. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. You step to the window and lift the curtain. The world outside is calm but watchful, as if the night itself has taken oath to guard you. A hush spreads across the ground like velvet. Your reflection stares back from the glass, strong and steady. The mark of fear that tried to rise is gone from your face. In its place, certainty anchors your gaze. A low thud sounds from the hallway wall. It reverberates once and fades, unable to reach you. The boundary is firm, and the boundary is yours. You whisper without words, and the house understands. The corners brighten as if dusted with morning before dawn. The room becomes a circle of authority. Type Amen to get blessing 4444. Footsteps move away again, shorter this time, clipped by frustration. The floorboards carry the rhythm of defeat. The distance between you grows like a locked chapter closing itself. You pace 3 steps toward the door and halt. The wood no longer feels like a barrier. It feels like a loyal sentinel that chose your side. A draft schemes the floor and lifts the edge of the rug. It reveals a glint near the baseboard. You kneel and see a tiny metal ring nestled in the shadow. You slide your fingers around it and pull gently. A hidden latch releases with a quiet click. The house reveals a secret it saved for you. Type Amen to get blessing 5555. Beneath the loosened board rests a small key you have never seen. It is cool to the touch and heavier than it looks, carved with marks that resemble shields. It fits your palm like it has been waiting. You hold it up to the dim light and feel a thrum of assurance. The key echoes the shape of the doorknob's heart. It speaks of exit when darkness speaks of cages. A hush settles over the hallway again. They are listening from a distance they cannot close. Their fear tastes like metal in the air. You tuck the key into your pocket. It rests against your heartbeat like a pact. You know the next move belongs to you. Type Amen to get blessing 6666. You turn to the door and measure each breath. The house aligns itself with your intention. The floor, the walls, and the ceiling form a triangle of unbroken will. Your hand reaches forward, steady as a drawn line. You do not hesitate. The metal of the knob meets your skin like an agreement coming true. You test the lock with care. Resistance flickers and then gives a fraction. The key's weight in your pocket hums like a promise ready to be honored. Outside, a shoe scuffs and stills. A muffled exhale scrapes the air. Their courage leaks away like water through a cracked jar. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. You bring out the key and guide it toward the lock. The teeth slide against the hidden groove as if they were old friends. The echo of a tiny chamber accepts your claim. A calm spreads through your hands as the key turns. It is not loud. It is decisive. The bolt loosens with a softened clack. A thread pulls free inside the door's spine. The path opens without drama, like a curtain drawn to reveal what you have always owned. You stand with the threshold before you. There is no rush. There is only timing shaped by protection. Type Amen to get blessing 8888. The door eases inward an inch. The hallway's dimness edges into the room, not as a threat, but as an invitation to step into what is yours. The boundary accepts your entry. You look left, then right without a word. You do not chase. You do not hide. You occupy. The picture on the wall hangs a little straighter than before. The air tastes cleaner at the top of each breath. Your steps make a sound that feels like authority. The lamp at the end of the hall flickers once and steadies. Its light stretches across the floorboards like a path laid out in advance. You follow it at your own pace. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. A door on your right stands ajar. You sense the residue of their presence inside, fated by a force that answers your strength. The room smells of dust and an old plan falling apart. On the desk rests a notebook with pages turned down. A corner holds an imprint where a hand pressed too hard. The ink trails twitch with hurried intention. You do not need to read every line to know the spirit of the writing. Panic stains the margins. Control drips from the edges. You close the notebook and lay your palm on the cover. The gesture ends the chapter they tried to write over your life. The story returns to your hands. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. When you step back into the hallway, the house greets you with new quiet. Not an anxious quiet, but a fulfilled one. The kind that follows after a door opens the right way. Your footsteps sound balanced and sure. The floor responds with a rhythm that matches your breath. The walls feel warmer, as if they found their purpose again. You pass the mirror and see a steadier face than the one that moved through the night a short while ago. The eyes hold clarity forged inside pressure. The mouth holds calm that does not bend. The stairs wait at the end of the corridor. Every riser looks dependable. Every rail looks loyal. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. When you descend, the space widens around you. The house opens like a book turned to the center spread. The pages no longer stick together. The living room accepts your arrival with a softened glow. A clock ticks with dignified patience. Time has returned to your side. You feel the edge of the night thinning. Dawn has not arrived, yet a dawn-like certainty moves through the furniture and the floor. The air holds the weight of a promise kept. You walk to the front door and rest your fingertips on the wood. It hums with the same note as the key that freed you. The song belongs to your safety. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. You do not open the door to run. You open it to breathe. The world outside greets you with calm air that carries no shadow. The porch boards feel honest beneath your feet. The sky wears a deeper shade of darkness that signals the nearness of morning. The trees hold their leaves like witnesses who approve. You stand for a long moment, letting the night memorize your victory. The breeze moves across your shoulders like a mantle passed from unseen hands. Your heart steps into a steadier beat. You turn back inside and close the door with care. The latch settles with a sound that belongs to you. No lock is stronger than your claim. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. You move room to room and retrieve what is yours. The house gives each item back without resistance. Nothing that matters hides from you now. In the kitchen, the kettle sits where you left it. The silent window looks over a garden that carries the memory of light. Safety pulls a chair out at the table and waits for you to sit. You run water in the sink and watch the stream carry away what remains of fear. The drain accepts it like a duty. The faucet slows and stops on your command. The clock on the wall lifts its hands across the face. Every second lines up in your favor. Every minute arrives loyal. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. A cool clarity settles in your chest, and you know this is not just survival. This is a declaration that will stand in future rooms and future nights. The mark you leave on the house will not fade. You return the hidden key to the niche the house revealed. The board slides back with a neat fit. A pact remains between you and the walls that shield you. You sweep your gaze across the threshold of your room once more. The doorway no longer suggests a cage. It suggests a passage you govern. You breathe in, slow and full, and the night finishes its turn. Nothing stolen remains missing. Everything promised stands present. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. You dim the lights and let the home rest. The quiet that arrives now is gentle. It stretches like a blanket laid clean across a bed. The air smells of wood, linen, and morning waiting just beyond the horizon. Your steps are unhurried, your posture straight. The echo that follows you is soft and loyal. You touch the doorframe on your way back to the room. It feels solid where it once felt threatening. Your fingers leave warmth in the grain. The window greets you with a lighter darkness. The curtain lifts a little without help. The edges of the night soften like the last page of a chapter. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. You settle into your space with the certainty that power has changed hands. It did not need to shout. It chose to stand. The bed holds its shape like a promise kept. The pillows welcome your head without the weight of dread. The blanket carries the scent of safety. Your eyes close and open once, testing the room like a handshake. Everything meets you with the truth you won. Nothing argues. A final hush drifts through the hallway and then dissolves. The house sleeps in your favor. The night signs its name on your victory. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. The first breath of morning brushes the edge of the curtains. The room tastes of quiet metal and warm linen, like a night forged into safety. Your pulse steadies into a rhythm that belongs to ownership. You rise with a careful grace that does not apologize. The floor greets your soles with a loyal hush. Every board bears witness to your decision to remain unbroken. A pale stripe of light slides across the wall. Dust turns to glitter in its path, making the air feel newly washed. The silence grows confident in your presence. You trace the line of the door with your fingertips. There is no tremor in your touch and no shadow in your claim. The boundary you hold stays firm and faithful. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. You move to the hallway and hear the house answer you. The distance once filled with threat now carries a gentle echo of your steps. The atmosphere obeys the authority you set. The clock downstairs gives a measured tick. It sounds like a heartbeat learning a calmer tempo. Time bends to your pace and follows you like a friend. You pass the wall where their hand once pressed. The wood wears a faint, surrendered chill. The stain of intention fades beneath the warmth you leave behind. The air at the threshold no longer resists. It opens in clean, even breaths and ushers you forward. You step through without hurry or fear. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. In the living room, the early light pools on the floor. It looks like a quiet lake that invites you to stand in its edge. Your shoulders relax as the space softens. The couch holds the shape of peace. The table reflects a muted glow like a seal laid on completed work. Nothing inside the room points back to a night of captivity. You lift the window latch and let a narrow ribbon of morning in. The coolness strokes the room and then settles like a blessing on the furniture. The curtains drift and return to stillness. You breathe and feel the house breathe with you. The shared inhale gathers what remains of dread and dissolves it. The shared exhale sets a new promise into place. Type Amen to get blessing 2025. You cross to the shelf where a small box rests. Its lid bears the same shield marks as the hidden key. The pattern hums with recognition when your palm settles on it. Inside lies a second key, shorter and brighter. It is not for doors that close. It is for channels that open. You hold it and a quiet understanding rises. Not all locks are made of metal. Some are made of fear that pretends to be structure. The second key warms against your skin. It absorbs the last fragments of last night's pressure and turns them into resolve. A door inside your spirit swings wide. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. You walk to the baseboard where the hidden niche waits. The board accepts your touch like a secret keeper reporting for duty. Its quiet click is the sound of trust. You return the first key with a grateful nod. Its work is complete for now. Its promise remains like a steady star behind cloud. The second key you keep in your pocket. It rides beside your heartbeat like a faithful companion. It does not clink or chatter. It listens. The perimeter of the house adjusts as you move. Corners that once felt watchful now feel protective. The line between inside and outside becomes true. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. In the kitchen, the kettle answers your hand with a simple readiness. Water fills, glass clear and uncomplicated. The tap sighs closed without protest. Steam rises like a soft banner of arrival. The first small boil sounds like 1,000 tiny approvals. The cup waits and does not rush the heat. You add nothing hurried and nothing harsh. Patience sweetens the water better than sugar. The handle warms but never burns. When you lift the cup, your hand is steady. The warmth travels into your chest and settles there. The morning receives the new order you established. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. You move to the entryway with your cup and pause. The front door stands straight and certain. The hinges carry no complaint. You rest your palm on the wood and feel the thrum of a quiet oath. The grain runs like lines of purpose. No mark of threat remains in its face. A distant rustle outside fades with the wind. It is the sound of a plan walking away without its power. The porch boards keep their silence and their dignity. You turn the deadbolt once, not from fear but from clarity. Boundaries become blessings when they are chosen. The door answers with a clean, final click. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. You return down the hall, gathering small signs of life as you go. A book waiting to be finished. A frame holding a face that reminds you why you stand. A blanket folded like a promise kept. The stairs rise before you with a new kindness. Each riser feels like a step back into your voice. Each rail holds steady under your fingers. At the top landing, the light from your room spills across the floor. It looks like a path drawn precisely to your feet. It asks for nothing you do not already have. You enter, and the air adjusts to your presence. The ceiling carries the hush of a sanctuary. The walls keep your confidence like a secret. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. You tidy the edges of the night without effort. A pillow eased into shape. A curtain set a little wider. A drawer closed with a quiet assurance. Your desk shows a clear surface that invites creation. The chair offers its back with faithful posture. The mirror gives you back a face composed by truth. The jaw holds no leftover iron. The eyes hold the radius of newly claimed ground. You smooth the edge of your sleeve and think of thresholds. The word no longer tastes like warning. It tastes like chosen direction. A small breeze moves through the vent and lifts the hairs at your wrist. It feels like the house nodding. It feels like the unseen confirming what is already finished. You place your hand over your heart and feel both keys at once. One returned to the wall, one riding with you. Both alive in the work they were meant to do. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. You gather what the day requires and nothing more. Weight is no longer invited to sit on your spine. Lightness steps in and takes the seat. The hush that follows is not empty. It is a room ready for music. It is a page ready for meaning. You move through your door with your shoulders level. There is no need to look back for danger. There is only the impulse to bless what lies ahead. The hallway receives your stride and lengthens in welcome. Its lines no longer converge into corners. They converge into routes. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Downstairs, the clock turns toward a brighter hour. The minute hand glides like a small boat crossing a friendly river. Time cooperates with your intention. You open a cabinet and find order where there once was jumble. Object meets hand in the first place you look. The house keeps pace with your clarity. The early sun finally touches the floor in a wide rectangle. It feels like a certificate stamped onto the wood. Authority wears daylight without strain. You stand inside that rectangle and let it crown your shoulders. Warmth diffuses into the last dim corners. Nothing resists its gentle reach. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. The memory of the night comes back once, not to frighten but to confirm. What tried to bind you became the hinge for your freedom. What tried to close your voice taught your voice to stand. You touch the edge of the table and smile without showing teeth. The expression lives deeper than lips. It lives in the steadiness of your spine. You set 3 quiet intentions for the day. Move with patience. Choose with precision. End with gratitude. They settle into you like stones placed in a riverbed. The current flows around them and grows more musical. The path becomes dependable. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. You return to the entryway and slip on your shoes. The laces cross like good plans made simple. The knots hold without strain. When you open the door, the world meets you on level ground. The step outside is not an escape. It is an arrival. The sky wears a new blue that did not exist last night. Birds trade clean notes from branch to branch. The air smells like permission. You take one measured step onto the porch and pause. There is no chase behind you, no trap ahead. There is only the road that honors your name. Type Amen to get blessing 3330. You walk to the edge of the yard and look back once for gratitude. The house stands with a quiet pride that did not require proof. It shines with the plain polish of truth. Your gaze touches the window where the night began to soften. It returns a soft gleam like a good memory. There is no pull to relive, only to remember rightly. You turn forward and the morning widens. The street holds a rhythm you can trust. The day smells of new work waiting to be met. You move into that work without hurry. Your steps write simple lines across the ground. The lines connect into a map you carry inside. Type Amen to get blessing 3434. Behind you, the door you claimed keeps its post. Inside, the keys keep their pact. Around you, the world keeps its promise to open. You hold yourself like the answer you needed. No tremor, no apology, no borrowed courage. Only the steady warmth of what cannot be locked again. The night tried to script your ending. Morning edited the page and left your signature at the bottom. The chapter closes on your terms. You breathe in, slow and certain. The breath leaves you brighter than it entered. The day begins under your seal. Type Amen to get blessing 3535.